The next session that we're about to go into is new gaming technologies and developments. And our presenter is Louis Del Valle, I think, Gaming Laboratories International. He's the development representative and field technician supervisor for GLI. He has 25 years experience in regulated gaming industry, including his years working in the Puerto Rico Tourism Company, gaming regulatory entity in the jurisdiction. He worked with the Hilton Corporation as a slot director for El San Juan Hotel and Casino, El Conquistador Resorts, and Condado Plaza Casino. His experience includes the use of schematic diagrams, varieties of test equipment, and application of appropriate electrical mechanical formulas involved in such duties as testing, troubleshooting, modifying, calibrating, installing, maintaining, and repairing. Today, Louis will share with us his thoughts on new gaming technologies and development. Help me to welcome him on stage.
Well, good afternoon. Again, my name is Luis Del Valle. First, I would like to thank BGLC for the invitation. Ms. Carol, thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about embracing new technology, but basically technology that is involved on gaming. So I would like to start a little bit with a little bit of information of GLI for those who do not know about our company. Basically, in GLI, we provide gaming industry leading testing and certification services. In GLI, we're more than a testing lab. We do have other professional services. They're here listed, and anybody that is interested in to listen a little bit more on these services, I will be more than gladly to give you more information, but I don't want to take a lot of time on this matter. Just to also show you that our GLI locations are found in 6 continents, and the company holds international accreditations for compliance with ISO 17025, 17020, and 17065. Those are for technical competence in the gaming, wagering, and lottery industry. Again, GLI business is to test, review, and report gaming devices and systems against technical standards. So my next slide here, in GLI we have the opportunity to see and touch a lot of new technology implementation for many gaming devices. Many of them required a lot of time for GLI to send their own engineers to learn on a particular technology. They learn, analyze the risk, vulnerability of that technology to bring a lot of information which is discussed with regulators and manufacturers in order to create what we call technical standards. So this technical standards is basically like a guidance on how this technology should work and behave on gaming devices. So among other things, technical standards will ensure for us fairness of the players, auditability. You should be able to audit that game, randomness, interoperability, and I'm sorry for that word. I haven't practiced that word a lot. So basically, what it means that machines should be able to communicate with each other and system with no problems. And that's one of the things that by having a technical standard you accomplish. And also, it's not here, but data integrity is very important when you establish technical standards. And again, means that the data that is happening in a slot machine, when it's moved to a system, you can at least verify that that data is still there. I want to also talk a little bit on technical standards. GLI had developed these technical standards for the industry. Again, we see a lot of new technology, and we decide that it was better to individually create technical standard for other technologies here around. We do have this available for all of you at gaminglabs.com. So I'm going to move and talk a little bit about skill-based games. When I first heard this concept, I thought that I was going to see a normal slot machine with probably a bonusing game that will add a little bit of skill to the game, but still you were going to be playing a slot machine with rails and handle. So I was totally wrong. Last year at the gaming show in Vegas, they present games like what we see in here that different group can play against each other. So a game of skill contains one or more elements in the design that which can be leveraged by a player to impact the return percentage of that game. So what I'm trying to say is if you have the proper skill in a game, you could win more. If you do not have that skill, you probably can not lose, but win less. Let's put it that way, all right? So this new type of game, we're gonna see a short little video in a moment, but I just wanna talk to you on that. I know that Alex mentioned on his presentation a little bit topic on the skill-based game. This is taken from the GLI 11. The new 3.0 version talks about skill-based games. Regardless that these machines doesn't have a pay table or rails, the regulator still needs to verify that this game has been played under a certain hold. And of course, the game has to make money for the house. So there are standards written specifically for the skill-based machine. For example, any game with skill where there's a potential for a style or method of play that to result in a game falling below the minimum, the game should disclose this. So if you're playing a game, a skill-based game, the game will tell you, hey, guy, if you play incorrectly this game, you're gonna be playing below the whole percentage of the game. It's gonna be right because it's disclosing you to do this. And again, the reason that I'm talking about this new technology, it is here. We will see it at the show. It is in Vegas. A lot of this new equipment has been implemented, new technology. And I was surprised that when I got in, I saw one of the new augmentation reality equipment here that I'm going to briefly talk because I know that you guys will have a nicer demonstration. But just to demonstrate how quick technology moves, I am about to say about that technology that you be prepared because it's going to be here, and when I walk to the door, somebody was using it here for the demonstration. So all of this technology that I'm going to mention, you will see it soon. Regulators need to be prepared with proper technical standards because some operator, some investor will come to the island and propose the gaming modality. So, Carlitos, let's see the video.
So this is skill-based Frogger. This is, again, for markets that will allow skill-based gaming. What we've done is we've taken our Frogger game, which is a very famous Konami game, probably the most famous Konami game, and we've turned it into a skill-based video game for money, for real money wagering. In this case, there are no spinning reels. The skill-based part of the game is hopping your frog through the familiar road course and river crossing. The farther you go, the better your upgrade symbols are and the better your prize awards are. And there's also a leaderboard so that you can challenge your friends for high scores and put that on social media. And so this is a game that we think will appeal to those kind of Gen X millennials, but also something that will work with the core player. So I'm going to show you how you play. You need to hop through without landing somewhere that is unsafe. And you want to collect coins along the way. So I got a score of 142,000. Now I get to pick them, and I get to pick a lily pad. There's 2 odds: 1 wheel,
Pick a lily pad.
2 credits, 2 4 credits, and 1 8 credits. I got 4 credits, so I bet $2 to get in the game, and I won $1 back. If I could,
So that was
1
1round.
round.
That's it, Carlitos. Thank you. So as you see, I never thought that I was going to be able to see this type of new development. No reels, but you are gambling and you are winning. And this type of machines will have the whole percentage as a normal slot machines. Next topic, persistent game. Basically, this type of game is more related to video games, also with skill-based games. And it's probably everybody knows about this type of games where you play and you can save at the level that you are playing. So when you return to the casino, you can log in using your ID or your customer card for that particular casino or site. You can continue to play where you left. So this is something that regulators need to be an awareness, because it will require also some technical standards to ensure that where you actually stay at, it would not have any influence. If let's say that you're winning and then you stop, you don't want that when you return the machine suddenly start behaving different than where you left, right? So my next topic, cryptographic RNG. I have to tell a short story. I cannot tell exactly too many details on it, but why cryptographic RNG? RNG stands for random number generator. And basically, the story, they caught a group of people in the US and a couple of jurisdictions that they were able to cheat on a group of slot machine. These people came from West Europe. They were able to get slot machines. They were able to get people with knowledge and a lot of computer power. And they were able to reverse engineer the source code of this gaming equipment. So what they were doing is they were going to a casino. They will find the same type of machines that they actually hack. They will use a cell phone, play the game for a while, and basically with that image, they send that image to their main operation center, and the computer there was able to identify where the randomness seed were located. So they were able to predict winning combinations. Not able to manipulate, they were able to predict. So they were playing 10 cents, and suddenly they receive a message in their cell phone. You can bet now. So they raised their bet at $10. Wow, they got a normal winning of $200. Nothing that will raise a flag to anybody, but you keep playing, right? And then you got another guy and another guy doing the same thing. And then, after 30 minutes, you walk up with $4,000 or $5,000. So if you keep doing that during a weekend, you will find out your accountants will find out probably next Monday that your whole percentage on your floor went negative with probably no reason. And if you do not know better, things like this could be happening. So manufacturers, this type of machines, the technology, they're 20 years old, but believe me that this type of machine is still working in many of our casinos. So old technology is getting beat by new hacker technology and knowledge. So manufacturers are moving to what we call cryptographic RNG. And again, basically what this means is that even if you are the programmer of that game, once it's cryptographed, the source code, nobody can know exactly where is the randomness of the game. So nobody can follow or predict. So this is a new implementation, new technology that would arrive to gaming regulators need to request that the RNG needs to be cryptographic again, for their own safety, because you never know who can be cheating the house by doing this type of hack. All right, Carlitos. So I'm going to talk a little bit on virtual sport. I know that there you guys will have probably a nicer presentation after me on that also, and you will also see here at the expo room a company called Golden Race. But basically, virtual sport is derived from fantasy sport and inspired by real sporting event. Even thought we can find a number of similarity with casino games, since they are visual recreation of sport events and generated by software that can be set to respect a number of rules or technical standards. We can place this betting category somewhere in the middle between sport and casino games. Testing the RNG, the random number generator, and rules of games is very important as a regulator. Again, this betting is happening as you will see it here at the expo. So I don't know if in Jamaica they have this type of betting, but I would ensure that it's going to arrive soon if they don't have it, right? Again, technical standards for this type of technology to be implemented is important to adopt. Carlitos, that's basically it. Thank you. So electronic payment, I'm going to touch a little bit on this. In this decade, no other technology has transformed consumer lifestyle more than a smartphone. So what do you think is going to happen next? You're going to be sitting in a slot machine, you're going to take your phone out, you're going to dial your PIN number, and you're going to use your cell phone to download credits to that slot machine. I know that there's jurisdictions that do not allow you from playing from a credit card, but there's none that doesn't allow you to play from a debit card. So if you have your money in the debit card, it can happen. So we need to be prepared. Again, GLI have a group of professional service expert on electronic payments. They can help you also write regulations and understand the technology. Again, we need to understand vulnerabilities and risk in order to write the proper standards for this. One of the obstacles that I've been reading on this material, and again, regulation framework is very important, and cooperation, because no single bank or mobile network operators covers the whole world. So there's a need of cooperation and partnership in order for this technology to work, and also the interoperability. Most mobile payment services are closed-loop system. Whenever one customer cannot send a payment to another customer in another system, even within one country. So this is one of the weaknesses that this technology have, but believe me, is a matter of conversation, because there's a lot of money involved on payments via mobile. So my next topic is going to be augmentation reality. Basically, in GLI, we have seen a lot of development, new ideas that we receive to test. And again, when we see something new that we don't know exactly how it works, we need to send engineers to learn this technology and come with some solution. So basically, augmentation reality is allow video game players to experience digital gameplay in real-world environment. So you're going to see some of the demonstration on this head-mounted display. So I thought that I was going to impress you with this, but you will see actually a live demonstration on this by CGR communication, right? So I'm not going to talk about that too much, but this other device, what we call hood, It's being used by the U.S. Air Force pilot. It's going to be implemented in a slot machine. You're going to be able to sit and watching that screen different symbols that if you touch, you can be participating in a secondary game. You can even touch, download your password, with your password, download credits to the machine. We also are seeing similar devices that when you sit in a slot machine, right? This is after you register in a casino club. You will sit in a slot machine. This machine would have a camera, will see your face, will recognize that you are Carol Martinez, and that Carol likes to play poker, and Carol likes to play Cleopatra game, and Carol likes to play any other particular game because it's in the profile. So this camera and this technology is going to be able to recognize your face and will recognize and download to the particular terminals individual games that they like. So this technology exists, and you will see it soon. So this contact lens, basically they display AR image and are being developed as, they call it bionic contact lenses, right? It might be contain the element for display embedded into the lens, but I have a short video because it's not the same that I explain it that you see it, all right? Carlitos, the last video. Oh, by the way, this is part of a movie. As you know, many of the new technology, you will see it first in movies. Military will use it then. Then you will have it in your house.
Excellent. Perfect. Good job. Excellent. Well done. Level complete.
All right, Carlitos. Just a rest of a video. They talk on other things that this contact lens could be able to do. Just for an example, you can open a refrigerator, and by looking the bottles, you will know how many milk you have or if you have to buy. So it is very interesting technology, and it's happening. I do not know in particular this one where we're going to see it in a casino, but believe me, it would happen soon because there are people, as we speak, developing gaming devices, skill-based games that will incorporate this type of technology. So with this, I finish my presentation. Thank you very much again for your time, and to BGLC, thank you very much for the invitation.